Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to use the empirical rule and z-scores using the Ti-84 calculator. Tara is a journalist for a college newspaper who is writing a report about the cost of textbooks in the STEM fields. She is inquiring how much mathematics majors and chemistry majors spent on textbooks during the past semester. She randomly selects a sample of 14 students of each major to ask how much each student spent on textbooks during the past semester and records their response. The results of the survey are shown below. One student from each department spent $487 on textbooks from each semester. Is the amount spent on textbooks more unusual for the mathematics major or the chemistry major? Calculate the z-score for a $487 textbook cost for each. So the first thing we need to do to use our calculator is enter this data into two separate lists, one for mathematics and one for chemistry. So I'm going to click on the Stat button. The Edit menu pops up. I want number one edit, so I'm going to click on Enter. Now you can choose whatever list you want to enter mathematics and chemistry in, so long as they're each in their own list, and you remember when we get to one var stats. So I'm going to start by typing mathematics down L1. Each time I type a value, I'm going to push enter. Now you'll notice that the data as it has been given to us is in a table with rows and columns. But again, when we enter it into our calculator, we need to enter down a column, and all of our data needs to be together in one column. And we have one more, which is 614. And you'll notice that next to it, it says L1 parenthesis 14. That tells us that this value is going into the 14th row. When I click enter, you'll see a blank row that's indicated as L115. So I know I have 14 observations in L1. Now I'm going to arrow over to L2, and I'm going to put my chemistry values down the column for L2. Again, as I enter them, does not matter the order that I enter them, so long as they all go in the same column, so I'm not creating rows and columns here like the problem has. And as I enter each one, I'm clicking the enter button. Now from here, again, we have 14 observations. This last one is being entered in the 14th row. Both columns line up, so now we have our data entered. From here, I'm going to click on the Stat button. I'm going to arrow over to Calc and select on one var stats, which is option number one. This is for one variable statistics. Now we're going to have to do these one at a time. So I'm going to do mathematics or L1 first. So I'm going to enter L1 into the list. The frequency list I'm going to leave blank because I'm using all the observations one time. So I'm going to arrow down to Calc and click on Enter. So the pieces of information that we need for the z-score formula are the mean and the standard deviation. The mean is at the very top. That's x bar. So 510.2857143. And then we need the sample standard deviation, which is 4 observations down, and that is S sub x equals 115.3119038. That with the original $487 in the problem can be used to compute the z-score for mathematics. Now let's compute the z-score for chemistry. So I'm going to click on second quit, and then I'm going to click on the stat button. I'm going to arrow over to calc, and again, I'm going to select on one var stats. Now from here, I want to use the list that contains chemistry, which is L2. So L2 is located on the number 2 button. It is indicated in blue, which means that we need to use the second button to access it, which is also in blue. So I'm going to click on second and 2 for L2. Again, I'm going to leave frequency list blank and arrow down to calculate and click on enter. So now we have the one variable statistics for chemistry. So again, the mean is the first observation. X bar equals 576.7142857. And the sample standard deviation in the problem is 4 down. It's S sub x equals 99.533.85862. So those two pieces of information plus the $487 in the problem will allow you to compute the z-score for chemistry. And now we're done.